So I'm here at Made Hoops. You guys know me, Coach C.Collins with Bout That Life podcast. I've gotten to know this man right here who quite honestly doesn't need an introduction, but me and him have gotten really cool kind of in this AAU world, seeing things the same way. And it's, for me, really cool to see someone I admired and watched play advocate a lot of the same things and illustrate a lot of the same stuff we're preaching, right? Make AAU a place of development first, right? Performance, wins last, but of course, obviously, wins is a part of the equation. But I wanted to ask, in case nobody knows, this is Jamal Crawford, former NBA player. How long were you in the league? You said
20 years.
20 years, yeah. And he was a Warrior, so you know, I'm a Warrior fan, so I'm a Warrior fan. But basically, I want to ask you just a couple general questions on your outlook in this AAU world. First off, what are some of the good points, and I guess you could say some of the negative points, you being a coach and a dad, having your sons, you know, I got my sons in this AAU world. What's your overall outlook for it?
I'll say good points and I'll say growth points.
Okay.
So for the good points, I think when parents trust the coaches, when they trust the programs, when they trust the guidance that their young players, the young athletes getting on and off the court, I think the team bonding is great.
Yeah.
I think being a part of a team that's, has other good players is great for your own development and growth.
Right.
I think, the training sessions, the skill sessions, the film sessions, all the stuff, the good stuff that can go into AAU. The trips. We were out last night and we were at Punch Bowl. Yeah. And to see the kids walking and laughing about something. Maybe one was laughing about a girl and somebody tried to talk to a girl. Just those memories and moments. So that's the good stuff. The growth areas I'll say is parents, and I'm a parent too, so I'm not taking a shot at nobody. I think the parents sometimes don't trust that counsel. I think some coaches out there, and I'm young coaches, aren't in it for the kids' development long term. I think they're in it to say I coach AAU.
Yeah, 100%.
And they're not really pouring into the kid. And sometimes it's a lot of games, to be honest with you. For the long-term growth of the body, it's a lot of games at times. So I think those are areas that can grow.
So, and great points. So we're obviously here at Made Hoops, which overall is like, let's just call it what it is. It's like the pinnacle of high-level AAU. This is what feels familiar to me, and I'm sure when you played AAU, familiar to you, like the best of the best, right? And you try to get the best of the best out here, and they're all trying to compete to see who's the man, who's really out here. What is your overall look at tournaments like this, environments like this, where it's iron sharpening iron? You know what I mean?
I think Made Hoops is the best middle school tournament out, to be honest with you. I've seen it a lot. I played in it when I was a kid. I'm sure you played it growing up. Made Hoops does it to prepare you for later. Like, obviously, it's a lot of attention that goes into it. There's a lot that goes into it as far as, seeing kids go from 6th grade to 8th grade and seeing, this team grow. But they absolutely are in it for the kids to grow long term. And I think you're playing against the best of the best, right? And the steel sharpens steel. Yeah. So for that alone, you're getting better. But it's well ran, it's well organized, it's well thought out, and we're honored to be a part.
Yeah. And then about maybe like 2 or 3 more questions.
No, you're
for
good.
you.
You're
Yeah.
good. Hold on, can I just say I'm a fan of you, honestly?
You're a fan of me?
No, honestly, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I watch the stuff you post.
I appreciate it,
and I watch what's important to you, and I watch what you're pushing out there. We need more guys like this pushing out the right things. Because I always say, it could be a talented player, but if he doesn't have the right guidance and counsel, and every player doesn't play for you to train with you. No. But if you're preaching that real gospel out that we need to hear, we all getting better because of it.
Thank you, man.
For sure.
Man, I really appreciate it.
That's real.
Because like, when I started my podcast and all that stuff, it really was a passion project.
What's the pod called exactly?
Bout That Life podcast. Bout That Life.
Hey, Bout That Life podcast. If you're not a subscriber, you need to be. You have to be. You're learning about the game. You're helping your young athlete on and off the court. Check it out. Bout That Life podcast.
Like, where it came from me was, because I'm a fan of Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson's podcast, and I used to listen there, and All the Smoke, and I still do. And then as I started seeing more NBA guys make more shows, the one niche that I think wasn't talked about was the grassroots stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, because obviously, you got Paul George, what he's doing. You got, knuckleheads. You got, you got
a lot out
great
there
insight.
Yeah.
But they're talking about the top levels. And obviously, you work as an analyst, so you know as well. Like, but I was like, a lot of people don't know this side of it. The nights, the coaches in the gym with the player, days where we have to open, get the keys, wake up early in the morning, the trips, the washing the jerseys, the talking to parents, the dealing with different scorekeepers, officials. Like, they don't know all these little details. They just see the after party.
You're right.
And that's where my podcast stemmed from. I was like, I want to give people, or at least parents, enough information out there where they can figure out how to navigate what's best for them.
You're giving parents that, and you being a parent, you're also giving just the game now.
Yeah.
I'm a pro. I played 20 years. You're still helping me. I'm learning. I always, if I could watch a pod and get one thing from it, I got better because of it. So you're helping everybody, including guys who played as well.
I appreciate it. And then you being a parent, but obviously a parent with a resume, right? Like, that's, your son, I'm pretty sure he's aware, like, this is my dad, right?
Yeah. I'm just dad, actually.
Yeah. But, like, what advice could you give to the parents that maybe have no basketball background, no sports background? They want to get their kid into this world, into this passion. What's the best advice maybe you think you could give them?
Find good coaching, find a good program, listen to pods like About That Life pod. Get good information, play the long game. I think right now we're in an era where everybody wants it right now. I wasn't even known until I was 16, locally.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So,
I
wasn't even known locally until I was 16. Trust the process. I think right now we all want it now. We all want the end result, to your point, without taking the proper steps. It's like having a house, right? You can have a mansion, you can have a small house, whatever. If it doesn't have a solid foundation, if that house isn't built with a solid foundation, that house is gonna collapse. Trust the process. Let your young athlete get better. Remember the end game. Remember the end game. It's not for highlights or mixtapes. It's if you want your child, if they want to chase going to college at any level, trust the process.
And my last question for you, for the athletes, right? Speak on that side. For the athletes out here, everybody's at different levels. I preach that very much so. I said, you have like a great episode I had was with Jalen Wells.
Oh, yeah.
And we talked about it because I saw that kid grow up. Freshman, he was 5'8". 5'8" freshman. Worked his butt off, barely scraped by to get to JV. Sophomore year, same kind of deal. Obviously hit some growth spurts. He's like 6'7", 6'8" now. Had no looks, went to Sonoma State D2, then went to a D1. Now he's playing for the Grizzlies and then running for Rookie of the Year, right? His story is phenomenal in terms of this area because it really shows a kid from point A to Z and how much the work ethic plays a huge part. So I'm saying for you, like someone you just said, I didn't really get on or get known till 16, right? What can you say to that kid that's 10 years old, 11 years old, 12, maybe not the tallest, maybe not the biggest, maybe not the strongest, but he's fighting every day to get his recognition? What advice could you give to those kids?
Trust the work. Trust the work. If you're ranked the number one 10-year-old in the world or the number one 20-year-old in the world, you got to work. If you're not ranked and not known, you got to work. The one constant in both situations is the work. The work is constant. Always find ways to get better. If you're the best person in every gym you walk in, you're in the wrong gyms. Go play with older guys. Go get beat up. Go learn. Listen to the pod. When you watch film, don't just watch highlights. Actually watch the film to learn something. Learn the game and trust the work. You're gonna go through runs where you miss 5 in a row. But if you trust the work, you can make 5 in a row. Trust the work. I don't care if you're the pro level, grassroots level. If you work, boom, the magic happens at some point. Just keep trusting the work.
Thank you, man. I thank you. Thanks for taking the time. And again, I'm a fan of him. Too.
I say this with no smile and with all sincerity. I'm a fan of what he's preaching. I always like it, always favor it. I try to comment on it, try to push it out there because he's doing work that needs to be amplified. And you guys as well behind the scenes, you guys are doing work that needs to be amplified. The game's sometimes in a dangerous place. And if we don't have voices like this, it's gonna get even more dangerous. So keep trusting the work, trust the process.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you, Jamal, man. And God bless and man, keep doing great stuff, brother. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, brother.
Seriously, appreciate you. So I love you.